follow up to my previous on YouTube, someone says, I think also real villains need real motives. Kind of, because it's different than it used to be. And I want to see this come out in fiction. Because in the old days, a real villain would just do something evil. But now, evil people have realized that popular opinion can sway, and they need to kind of do this popularity contest over being villains. And so you'll see Elon Musk, for example. Elon Musk is leaving California because I don't even know his argument over the laws, right? It's like he makes up some BS argument, but he's really leaving because of labor practices and protections they have for workers. And he's already been sued and lost for racist practices, right? It's like Elon Musk can't come out and say, I hate all Black Americans, but he can say, hey, Black Americans aren't smart enough to fly planes. Man, that just went under the radar, people. But, right, he's in a popularity contest, right? Because he doesn't want regulation. So what he's trying to do is he's trying to dismantle all of the regulatory bodies that he encounters. Now, that would be crazy to say that out loud. And he knows he can't just say that like, oh, I want to take down, hospitals or whatever. But no, he wants to take down Federal Trade Commission because, hey, they made him restate his mileage on his cars because he was lying about that. He's lying about self-driving. You ever notice that Teslas actually self-insure their cars? Because, not all of them, but many of them and all the Cybertrucks, because they want to be able to say, hey, we don't need to know about that crash record there. It's okay. We'll cover that. Right? They're lying about their self-driving and the accidents. They've been lying about self-driving in general. For the last 5 years, you could buy a self-driving package that gave you cameras that did nothing, right? And the California state attorney's is like, hey, wait a minute. We're putting an end to this. And Elon Musk's like, well, I'm leaving then. But I can't say that's why I'm leaving because, well, that's bad. Right? And so he does a lot of things like that. He's a great, evil, stupid character where it's about popularity contests. And he thinks if he wins the popularity, he wins the people. But what we're seeing in America, and I'm going to get political here for a minute, but what we see in America right now is with Kamala Harris and Walz is people want normal. People want to be happy. People want to have hope. They want to have joy. And so that's what Americans want. But what Elon Musk is missing as he goes off with people like Ian Miles Chung and all of these is those are non-Americans who don't have a stake in this game. And you're seeing this again and again of Elon Musk's biggest fans are Eastern Europe, they're the Middle East. It's all about money. It's all about that he can make money, so he must be a good person, disconnected from the realities of his behavior. So then his evil character comes out not with actual motivation over what it is, but he wants to talk about that so that he can go do his evil thing under the guise of other stuff. It's almost his cover, right? So like he is Mr. Free Speech, right? Right, Elon Musk is all for free speech. Did you know he is suing advertisers to force them to advertise on Twitter? That is how lunatic he is, right? But he can't say that out loud. He has to make they're being mean to me. I told them to go F off, and then they F'd off, and you should listen to me, right? Like, that's insane. But if he says the insane part out, he's got to be like, oh, no, this is for free speech, for you. I'm protecting you, right? It's insane. But yet people eat it up because Elon Musk, he's a genius. He's not, right? He's just willing to exploit you more than anybody else. And the secret he learned is to hide it, right? So look at it like another real piece of shit human being. And that is Mark Andreessen, right? So now Mark Andreessen will be like, Mark Andreessen is so bad, Mark Zuckerberg had to apologize for his behavior, okay? So, but Mark Andreessen's like, hey, I'm pro-tech. That's what I am. I am pro-tech, and that's why I like Trump, because he's pro-tech. No. It's really hard to follow, but the FTC under Linda Khan from Biden-Harris administration has done more to reset and take control away from large corporations and put it back into the hands of people so we can have actual real innovation and not just be playing into these off-balance fields, right? And so what's happening there is we're seeing like the Google lawsuit just went through and the judge agreed. We're seeing a lot of antitrust activity, and that is coming down, and that is terrifying these tech bros. So it terrifies them for two reasons. One, they want to be the new king, right? And so, hey, they don't want anybody getting in their way. And then secondly, is a lot of the companies that they do aren't working out that well. So they want to be acquired by other companies. Well, if all of a sudden Google and Microsoft can acquire these other companies, they don't have an exit, and they will have to actually make something good and make a profit. And Mark Andreessen knows that's really hard and unable to do. So he wants to get the FTC Lena Khan out so they can go back to just making these giant monopolies, and we'll all be stuck with Google and Facebook and going, why does this search suck so bad? But there's nothing else to use, right? That's what this battle's about with the tech bros. And you're seeing this with Elon Musk, though, again, where he can't alienate. Because when he announced he was giving money to Trump, when that got out, he had to backtrack that because they saw Tesla sales drop. And I'll tell you what, if you buy a Tesla now, I'm going to ask you, are you buying it for Trump, transphobia, or white nationalism? Because that's what you're supporting, right? And that's what a lot of people have equated. And so their sales are plummeting because of that. So he has to play this game where he can't say his true evil, but he has to say his other things. So yes, real villains need real motives. But in the modern day, they hide what those motives are and make them up about BS social stuff that they can get the dumb lunkheads to say, well, yeah, I hate gay people and black people, so I'm going to go do that too, right? And that's all Elon Musk's doing. I don't believe right, look at JD Vance's switch, right? He's a tech bro who switched from never Trump to now Trump's the greatest thing. Because they have no morals, they have no ethics, they have no principles. But they're just trying to hide what they're trying to do. And that is dismantle institutions that protect us. And that is a really terrifying thing and really hard to say in a way that makes sense. So they say all these other things. And that's where we get that. So yes, you need motivations, but man, I'll tell you what, evil people don't actually say their motivations anymore. They just do this weird publicity thing to the dumb people.